Understandably so. We have another game for you today. And we are doing the Khmer Tree Chop. But I have put a little bit of a different spin on the Khmer Tree Chop. I have tried to develop it. Oh, yeah, my dog was barking a little bit, and Poop Lord Jr. was sleeping. So, need to take care of that. He gets very, very protective when somebody's at the door. I don't know if your guys' pets do that, but he goes nuts when somebody approaches the front door. Anyway, as I was saying, we are trying to put a little bit of a spin on the Khmer Tree Chop. So the Khmer Tree Chop is you go for 26, 27 pop up, and then you drop a castle on your opponent. You use a ballista elephant to chop for the wood line, and then hopefully your friend's cavalry, in this case Hernux, playing as the Persians, comes through and absolutely cleans up all of their eco. But after that, there needs to be some sort of a follow-up. Now, you could go for full ballista elephants or something in that nature, but honestly, ballista elephants are terrible units. So we're going to switch into arbs, hopefully, for the late game. Another one of our teammates over here, playing as the Vietnamese, also going to go for some archers, is Spark. And there's one more key thing that we're going to do in this strategy, but that's a little secret I'm going to reveal to you a little bit later on. Our opponents, Dave, not playing on a controller this time. I'm just joking. I don't know if this is the real Dave or not. Probably not. But he is playing as the Malay. In the green, we have Bill Flounders. Man, part of the Flounders family. Love myself some good Simpsons. And we are going to speed up because we don't need to see every single little bit of Dark Age. Playing as the Turks, the Vietnamese player indicating where all of our opponents are. We are obviously scouting as well at this time. And the reason that we're scouting is we want to see where we can place the castle. And that can be tricky sometimes. We want to place it on a goal, but we also want to place it not too far away. So once I found this stone, I felt like this was a pretty good dropping area. We haven't talked, see, I even indicated this is where I want to drop the castle. We are also playing against Zaphund, playing as the Mayans, and he's going to get a castle in his face quite soon. Now, to do the strategy, the build order is quite simple. You go for 4 on wood, and honestly, you could even get away with 3 on wood because you don't really need the buildings. But since I do want to construct myself a barracks and archery range and so on, I choose to go for 4 rather than less. And then everything else goes on food until you reach that magic number of 27, or if you want to go a little bit later, you can go 28, have your economy be a little bit stronger. Also messed up, so we have to get loom. It's just little things. It doesn't matter all too much. We can see we have tons of food in the bank. And also one thing that you want to do is once you have clicked up on feudal, you want about 3 on gold to get that gold amount right. You can go more, you can go less. I like to play build orders by feel and then kind of like switch things around as I see my resources increase, because sometimes you have bumping going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. And we even decide to just, there's no more food to be had. So we actually go for a second wood line as well. And that will set us up for later economy. Now, once we hit feudal, we do need to make sure that we have plenty on stone. You need about 6 to 7 at the beginning of feudal to make sure that that castle happens. So over here we have 7 on stone. I went a little bit earlier because I want to pull some of these guys off of stone to then walk over here. Now, I could be talking about what Hernux is doing and whatnot, but he's going fast castle into knights, and Spark is going to try and go for some archers to allow Hernux to collect those relics, because why not? If it does go late game, we definitely want to have that advantage. So now that we're up in, we didn't have the required amount of, why are we not clicking up? What's going on? We should be clicking up immediately. Poop. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can see a little bit of idle TC time. Nothing is perfect, and we are going to rush up that castle. And because we had those additional on wood, we are going to be able to transition those into farms, and we are eventually going to be able to transition into additional TCs as well. I personally like to create a little bit of a wall up. That way, if I get castle dropped, it's not going to be too hard to keep my eco semi-safe to a degree. Hopefully, maybe. We even built the blacksmith. The reason we built the blacksmith is so that we can get those archer upgrades, and it will also help our castle overall. We send the villagers forward, and here is something that I've started to do, and that is build a house first. And the reason we build a house first is so that we can hop in that house if required. And I will say, this is going to be quite important. We construct a house, we reach castle, we're immediately going to construct that castle. We don't need a whole bunch of additional stone, although maybe getting enough stone for ATC would have been a good idea, but we're just going to build an archer range and a market and then kind of eco from there on. But I wasn't expecting Zaphan to go for tons and tons of eagles. He sees this and he's like, nah, 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 nah. We denying this. So one eagle, okay, I can probably deny that. But all of a sudden, there's 3 eagles over here. And now this whole situation has become very, very awkward. That woman can't even hop in, so I have to hop somebody out and then hop her in. And it's just messy stuff. This castle might never go up at this point, and the woman is down. So now we're like, you know what? Just everybody just chill in the house. And there's quite a lot of army over here, but thankfully Hernux is here in the clutch, playing as the yellow player, as the Persians. Man, he has some interesting gates going on over here, and an interesting base just in general. But he's going to send over some knights to hopefully help me out at some point. Double stable knight production right at the beginning of castle. That's what you want to see with this strategy. And this is the first time I ever played with him, and I was very, very happy that he was going to bail me out of a very, very tricky situation. 2 knights is plenty to clean eagles and scouts. Green's actually like, nah. None of this for me, please. But now that he sees the villagers over here, he's like, oh, well, I can snipe some of those. Even helped out a little bit. Look at me helping out. I did some damage to that guy. Yeah. And now we can finally finish the castle. Meanwhile, second TC. We were a little bit delayed, but once again, we only need 1 ballista elephant. That's it. The rest can all go into economy. And once we have this, I noticed, oh wow, he has tons of knights here already. Clutch. Why don't we just crank out a ballista elephant and see if we can just break through? And he actually starts attacking the gate, and I'm like, no, there's no need. We don't want him to know that we're going to be in really soon. And here's the boy. Here's the chunky boy. And I did tell you that something else interesting was going to happen. And that is that we're not going to keep this 1 ballista elephant over here. We're going to just simply walk this ballista elephant around as much as we can. As I send like 75 pings, I'm like, here. Come on. The Night Owl Castle does have some monks over here, so that's a little bit awkward. It is going to get a good number of conversions, but that castle is denied. And actually starting to shoot that castle because we're thinking maybe we can take that castle down before something actually even happens. And just running around trying to do as much damage as possible. Get some monk there. Don't know if he actually lost a knight in that particular situation, but killing villagers left and right once your base is exposed definitely should be putting more into his CC. Now finally he rings the final bell. What are the upgrades on these? +1 defense. I love that choice. That's a great choice from him. I say, look, he's going for a castle over here, a panic castle for sure. Green's coming over as well. Green's getting absolutely demolished, and this castle might actually get denied to a certain extent, as these knights are absolutely cleaning up villagers. Even if it doesn't get denied, there are tons and tons of villagers dropping. So now, elephants are slow. we have done the damage, in my opinion, to blue that we need to do. So, our chunky boy is going to find another spot right here to go into green's eco. And you can see green has no defense capability whatsoever. He's actually constructing this castle. Cool. I don't care about that castle at all. Nor does Hernex, nor does Spark. Spark was collecting some relics, I think? No, Spark is committing crossbows to start to help us out with monks, which is actually super duper clutch that he was doing that, going for some early military, trying to make everything work. Meanwhile, we're booming on free TCs, you know. We're booming. We're producing archery ranges as well. Our late game is really set up. We haven't had to make anything other than a singular ballista elephant, and he just lets all of these knights in. Oh man. Let's take a quick look at the total number of villagers. 41 villagers for green, and they are starting to get sniped. That being said, Hernox hasn't sniped a single one yet, but there goes the first, there goes the second, there goes the third. Oh my gosh, absolute devastation. Only has the one armor upgrade, but you know what? I prefer that over having less knights. I think this is a very, very solid amount of knights that is just able to run around and be super duper annoying. Meanwhile, donk, Chunky boy is coming over. I'm just placing him over here. We're not going to go in yet. We're just going to keep him over there. They're fighting over here. That's fine. We don't care. We have done the damage that is required. All we care about is doing damage to green, and nice snipes over there on that TC that is being constructed. Can even get this woman as well. Yeah, she's gonna go down as well. More villagers. I would not be opposed to him diving under this and just getting those 2 additional villages. You might lose a knight in the process, but green is down to 39 villagers, and that TC goes down as well. And now we're signaling over here like, look, whenever you're ready, whenever you want to go, we got the chunky boy. We got that chunky boy ready to go. And now it's Spark's turn. Spark's like, yeah, I'm over here. Yeah, let's go. Spark did end up collecting the relics. Okay, so that's one thing that he was doing. And also, he has a very, very solid economy over here. 3 TCs, 2 relics in there already, getting a fur, getting a 4th. They're so preoccupied on rebooming, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead, go in. Monastery comes up. Dave realizes that he's next on the menu, and that monastery is never going to make it up. And these crossbows are super clutch. Even bringing enough villagers forward to drop a TC. Was the first to make it to Imp, but with no military, and I don't think he was expecting military in his base this quickly. He is in a lot of hurt and a lot of problems, and this castle is absolutely brutal. Making another line over here. Meanwhile, these knights are still harassing. Are absolutely still harassing poor green. He's actually making a way out over here. He's like, nah, I don't want to go through this path anymore. We're going out a different way. And once this castle goes up, there is so much eco that's not going to be able to be used. 1, 2, 3. Oh, just all the shots being shot. Oh, absolutely disgusting, this castle. And now the knights are in here as well, and they're running around. And cool, you made it to Imperial Age. Castle over here. I think this panic castle is going to be the knight as well. Yeah, there is plenty of crossbows over here. Oh, don't shoot the castle. Shoot the villas. Yeah, this. Oh my God, poor Teal over here. His villager number is dropping. He was at he just GG, man. GG. It's cool. You got me. I didn't have any military anymore, so that was great. And we actually didn't even get to make a whole bunch of military. We did have a total of 4 archery ranges, and we did have about 15 crossbows or whatever, but we were trying to go to Imp. We made about 60% of the way up. Never actually got there, but this is such a fun strat to try, and it doesn't have to be no eco approach. You can make this an eco approach. I think if I had to do this again, I would actually, because I ended up buying a whole bunch of stone, I would actually leave 2, maybe 3 villagers on that stone to collect 100 stone to then build additional TCs behind. You can see that eventually I did get 3 TCs up, and I think I even put one over here forward, yeah, to collect stone and whatnot. Meanwhile, 2 TC push on knights was completely sufficient. Hernox did a fantastic job, absolutely demolishing green. I mean, look at green's eco at this point. It is idle. And those crossbows from Spark and that cat. I mean, when he said, yeah, I have like 8 villagers forward to drop a castle, I was like, wait, what? No, it's more. He got 13 villagers. Oh my goodness, he has a lot of it. He's like, yeah, let's just go in. And I was like, okay, cool. So Spark definitely has the goods to be a memer, because that is an hilarious castle right on the starting TC. That's almost like a Persian drop. Let's take a quick look at the statistics. Just so much fun in this particular game, in this particular matchup. Oh, absolutely disgusting KD from Hernox here, about 5-1. And I don't think I did a whole bunch of fighting. Yeah, we actually lost some of those starting villagers and didn't really get to play with our crossbows at all. Spark, oh my god, 21-1 KD. Good luck beating that. And overall resources, Dave was definitely booming like a madman. We knew that we weren't going to boom. We were going to try and end it relatively soon. First to Imperial, but if you don't have any military in Imperial Age, that's a big problem. You can see that there was basically no military for Teal throughout this entire game. Nor was there any military for me, but I was protected just by the memery of it all. And Hernox, a really nice transition immediately into knights because I was in a tricky situation. So I think building that house really helps. That way, if your castle does get denied, when the knight player comes over, they can help you out. And only building 1 ballista elephant, as ballista elephants are not very good, and then moving that ballista elephant around. A lot of you had suggested it, and I wanted to keep memeing the meme, but ultimately it is better, or at least in my opinion, it's stronger, maybe not better, but it is stronger to transition into something else. I mean, you can even transition into, say, for example, elephants or knights if you're more comfortable with that than archers. But I do think archers is very unexpected, and it's a cool switch in that Khmer does have the option for. They do miss Fumring, but who cares about Fumring? It's totally terrible. Nobody cares about Fumring. Fumring's terrible upgrade. Terrible. Fun game. Thank you guys so much for walking. Keep walking.